Shit, I've been trying to figure that out too.
Kind of just covers all the products I stumbled into as a little mixed kid trying to figure out how to take care of my hair. All the things that were bad for my hair. I just didn't know any better. My name is Kiesh and we're watching Culture Pulse.
Shit, I've been trying to figure that out too. But yeah, the hair hour was supposed to be a preface to a larger project called White Mom, Black Dad. And it's all about women of color who were raised by white women and what that has to do with the way we take care of our hair, the way we perceive ourselves as women in this world. Because the way we're perceived is not, the role model that we had. And how that just trickles down. And so I came out with the hair aisle, and then the project kind of got sidetracked. And it's one of those things that I just felt like the momentum for it will come back again, but it needed to take a rest right now. So I did a bunch of other things in between, and I feel myself getting back into that lane, but it's just not right yet. It's not the right time. It's just, honestly, it's been on some survival work. I got to the point where I was Wyclef Jean's creative director for a year and a half, and then when that contract ended, I just kind of had to go out on my own. And I was freelancing and just taking on jobs. So my art became my hustle to survive, to pay rent, to pay, to eat. And my art kind of stopped for myself and became a job. For real. And with that, it's just like anything. When something you love becomes a job, you can't really do it the same. So I found that art was only able to happen with me whenever someone gave me a prompt. And I wasn't able to just go to the drawing board on my own and just doodle freely like I used to. And it's this strange transition that you find yourself in, just unable to create, and it's discouraging as fuck. Can I swear?
Absolutely.
I guess if I could smoke, I could swear.
So, tell us how, the whole Wyclef Jean thing came about. Like, how did that happen?
Oh, that was God. That was nothing but God. I was working at Steve Styles' ad agency, and then I got fired from there because I was wilding. And I told myself, all right, I was an analyst there and doing math for 2.5 years, just Excel sheets. And after I left there, I told myself, just make art. So for 3 months I made art. I came out with a line of No Mayo, and we sold out that night, which is something we'd never done. I turned my home into a gallery, and I just filled it with all of this art and installations and experiences, and I had the homies come through and do comedy and music. And I remember it was January 2nd, and I told myself, all right, it's been 3 months. It's time for you to get a job. And the next day, Wyclef's people hit me up and said, hey, we want to meet you. We heard about you. Are you free? And I was like, well, actually, I am. And I got hired on the spot. So when I went to work for Wyclef, it was this record label called Head Music. and it's a woman-ran, a black woman-ran company. There was 5 of us, all women. So when I went to work there, it was like total freedom. I was his social media department, his strategy, his creative, everything. So whenever he'd be coming out with new music or an album, he would come to me, play me the music, and then once I gave it some spins, him and I would just chop it up for a couple hours. But it's funny, my first week of working there, he asked me about Toussaint L'Ouverture, who is one of the revolutionaries in the Haitian Revolution, and I didn't know who he was. And Wyclef made me learn everything about the Haitian Revolution, Haitian culture, and then he tested me the next time I saw him. So that's one thing I definitely appreciate him for, is that he made sure that I knew what he was about. He made sure that every time we spoke that, you know, if he was dropping some new knowledge, that he would check it the next time and just be, you know, always making sure I'm learning. And it was a blessing working at his, because I got to work directly with him, you know. He was, you know, a phone call away, and it was nice to be able to work with an artist. But in that same vein, we used to bump heads a lot, because we were both, you know, he recognized my art and I recognized his art, and sometimes those overlapped, and we used to get into it, but it was always out of love in the art, yeah. Before I was with Wyclef, I was in the advertising industry for about 4 years, 4 or 5 years, and then once I did that crossover and did advertising for music, I realized it's such a different world, and even though you are still selling a product, this product that you sell is just like, it's music. It's like, I don't know, you can't deny what music does to people. So once I left Wyclef, it was like, I want to work in music. So that's when I started to pursue Columbia. Honestly, yeah, I need to correct myself. I didn't pursue Columbia. So we pitched Columbia when I was with Wyclef for the Carnival 3, and I presented all the work to them. So then when a job opened, they came to me, and they said, hey, we have this job. And so I interviewed, went through rounds and rounds and rounds, yeah, and ended up on their digital team. So now I have a whole roster of artists that I work with. Yeah, and it's fun work. I mean, we just worked on the Internet's new album, you know, bringing that out. Loads of people, Pharrell, NERD, it's fun. Well, shit, that won't be. Maybe when I was 22, but not anymore. I understand the life I want and the life I can create, so I've continued to do that. But also, at the end of the day, my name is Lakeisha on a resume. You know, so I already come into it having to be a certain type of person. So upholding that and just kind of making my own waves and understanding that I create this shit. You know, I went from being an analyst to Wyclef Jean's creative director, and it's all because I felt it and believed it and claimed it. And Columbia was claiming it, and I have no choice but to flex. You know, I'm an immigrant, and my parents, we came to this country, and you kind of have to flex. You have to. You can't let that shit go in vain, because that was a big decision. Watermelon and weed. I think the first and foremost, I mean, outside of art, is just knowing who you are. You have to know who you are and what you stand for, and that will forever give you a reason to flex. Once you have a reason, you know? And that only comes from knowing what you're about. You can't sell yourself until you know what you're selling. And that's always a work in progress, you know? I thought I knew who I was, and then it all collapsed. And then it's just a chance to rebuild. And I think the hardest part of that is letting go of the thing that you know. And yeah, I don't know, it's just knowing what you're about, knowing what you want to make, knowing what you want to be in this world, or I don't know. I think I'm still figuring that out. But don't quit your day job though. Don't quit your day job. Don't do it. You know, I've eaten 1 meal a day. I've gone days without food, and it's so better to eat. It's so better to just, especially if you're young, because you can still do it, like stay up until 2 a.m. and then go to work at 8 a.m. Do it until, you know, for as long as you can. But keep getting paid until you're stable enough to be able to do it on your own. I just aspire to wear swim trunks every day. With your pockets, they gotta have pockets. But yeah, I've had this map since I moved to New York. Been here about 7 years now, and it's kind of just a lot of things I've picked up along the way, places I've been and want to go. There's local stories at different spots, and things people have told me. Times when I just got high and wrote on shit. Times where I thought it was profound. And I was around 15,000 black people, and then the summer after I graduated, I did 3 months in Portland, Oregon.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I gotta go. I was like, where, like literally where are all the black, and just that starkness, it's like, you're comfy everywhere you go. It's like, you know, everyone's calling you baby and sweet, like, everyone looks like you.
Yeah.
And then I went to this place where, it was wild. But yeah. Just covers all the products I stumbled into as a little mixed kid trying to figure out how to take care of my hair. All the things that were bad for my hair. I just didn't know any better. Like bathrooms and seeing what they have and being like, oh, they have curly hair, I have curly hair. This is what I need. But not taking into account that they don't have white mothers, so. Open house started out as just like a monthly event that we threw at my friend Lindsay's house. And then this year we kind of started taking it serious, and it's about cultivating creative people in the back garden of her home in Fort Greene and just kind of creating a vibe. The first one we had a comedy set. There's about, a lineup of 7 comedians. And it was a free event. And then this past one, we had a bunch of musicians come through, and it's just, creating a space where creative people can kind of flex out in different ways, and the people who also come are creatives. So it's building on a network in kind of a casual setting. A lot of friends who are comedians, so it's all about, I love to say a rising tide lifts all boats, so it's about grabbing your friends and kind of working together. So just like the last music one, it was all of our DJ's friends, and kind of just cultivating the network that we have and creating something from that. And that's what open house is, and at least that's what we keep trying to do. We have a vendor market where we allow people to come and sell their stuff. On our Instagram, we're always putting people on. We're not just we're not just saying here's a nice picture of them, but go follow them, go check out what they're doing, and just creating that energy for when people come. I listen to, Erykah Badu is the forever, and the Lauryn Hill and Jill Scott types. But right now, anything Color Studio puts out, I listen to them. So like Mahali is Cleo Souls. I love Rory. I love Selection. I do. I'm from South Florida, so I get ratchet too.